Assembly for 20 by 10 timber workshop. First of all, put the base down, level base, fix the bases together, maybe in 2, 3 or however many parts depending on the size of the base. This one's in 3. And we screw through the floors themselves where they join with 8 by 3 wood screws. We start with the back gable wall. We run some silicone sealant along the edge of the floor before putting the gable down. This gable is in 2 halves, some are in 1, some are in 2. And we lay the gable down onto the wooden floor, and then we make sure that it sticks over both edges, either flush or by an even amount. We then screw down with timber screw bolts. These 63mm long screw bolts. As you can see, screwed down. And then next, we take one of the sides. Again, silicone under where it's going to be laid along the floor. Someone outside must hold the 2 panels together, and then again 63mm screw bolt through the top, through the bottom of the side rail, and then through the middle of the side rail. Next, grab our silicone gun again. We silicone down the edge of the panel, and then along the floor again where the next panel is going to go. We proceed with that until we have all the walls up. We find it easier to clamp the panels together temporarily before fixing. I fixed this one already, clamped it. Make sure that the 2 panels are flat together on the top, and on the corner panel make sure that they are perfectly flat together onto the floor. Then proceed to fixing them together. Remember to fix the side walls down in the gables with the screw bolts. They must go into the floor joists. So this one here lines up with the nails of the floor, which is where the joist is. Next, fix some temporary timbers on the back of the truss on both ends. You'll need to leave them overhanging the end of the truss by around 5 or 6 inches. We'll be removing these later. They help us get the roof into the correct position. Next, we lift the roof up onto the building, over the walls. This one's fairly easy because it's quite small, but larger buildings need 2 people. To level the walls out with some temporary bracing, use a spirit level first, and then afterwards I'll get on a step ladder outside and eye the wall through down the length. Alright mate. Walls out by using temporary bracing fixed at the top and fixed at the bottom. We use a spirit level first, and then we'll go outside, may need a step ladder, we'll eye the wall through to see if it looks straight all the way down, and if not, make any necessary adjustments. Screw brackets under both ends of your initial trusses, and then you can take the temporary timbers off the back of the trusses. The first trusses are normally the ones where the walls join, as you can see there and there. So in this building we only need to put 2 trusses in because the roofs have got 3 per side. So we have in 1 roof, 2 roof, 3 roof, and we'll slide each one up on top of the trusses, then fix them to the trusses. The roof up, the first roof, you need to make sure that it's right at the centre of the top of the roof and positioned halfway on the roof truss, and then the bottom goes to where the walls are joined, and then we can fix up through the truss with a skew screw 8x3, top, middle and bottom. Later we'll be screwing up through the walls into the roofs and every part of the roof that comes down. We need to fix the top where it meets the front and the back gable, making sure it's dead centre at the top, and we fix up through the top rail into the roof. We also make sure that the gap top to bottom is an even gap. Fix each roof to the last roof with screw bolts. Do one roof, as you can see there, we've got top, middle and bottom on this one. Do one roof to the other, and then on the other end of it we'll be lifting it up so that it's dead in the centre at the top again, and then we'll be skew screwing through again, top, middle and bottom, and then, as I said before, we'll screw up a screw through the sidewalls up into the roof. We shall carry on pushing the next side of the roofs up exactly the same way as we did with this side, making sure they touch at the top, making sure that they match and meet in exactly the same place in the centre of the truss. You'll need to paint under the roofs before we felt the roofs. All the roofs are now on. So now we need to fix the rest of the roof trusses up in between the main ones that we just put up with the very long screw bolts. Normally one near the bottom on each side and one near the top on each side. Do this for all the rest of the trusses. Screw up the sub truss bits with 8x3 screws. Same on the other end. Fixing the small sub truss bits, as you'll see here, we've got 2 different lengths in this building. Fix the uppermost part to the roof timber with 8x3 screws, and then you fix the lowermost part into the long sub truss timber, screwing down through like so. Roll the roof felt out along the bottom of the roof, making sure that you measure enough overhang to cover the board and the roof timber, and obviously must overhang on the outside edges and the bottom. First of all, nail the felt along the top edge. For the time being, just one nail where you can see that in line with the roof timbers. And then on the outside edges we have the fold over. We'll leave the bottom curved for the time being, we'll be cutting that later. Just take you over the other edge. We temporarily fold the felt back and mark the centre of the felt back, mark the centre of each board, which is where we'll be nailing down the edge, the centre, rather than going through where the boards join, where the tongue and the groove is. And then we eventually nail all along, approximately 10 centimetres apart. For the piece of felt that's going to be going over the ridge, we need to cut off the black strip on the top, and then we will pull it over the ridge half and half over one side, half over the other, and then we'll make sure that where we nail it on both sides ends up somewhere around the centre of the T&G boards that we marked earlier, as you can see here. And then we shall proceed to nail all the runs, as I said before, with approximately 10 centimetre spaces with the 13mm long galvanised clout nails. Finish off by nailing the bottom edge of all of the felt runs where they overlap. So this is the top run, middle run, we don't nail anywhere in between the runs. And then at the bottom of the roof we put a run of nails across again, and then we'll be bending the felt over from underneath on a ladder and then tacking it down nice and close onto the lower edge of the roof to finish off. We'll then need to slice each corner like so, and then we'll fold one part under and then the other part over it like so, to give a nice neat joint. Nailing the fascia boards on, we put it to the centre at the top, make sure it's reasonably flush or slightly sticking over. Nail it in. These are around about 40mm galvanised nails, just over the top there. Finish it off, diamond on the top. There you go. So we need to put the corner covering blocks inside, shove them in the bottom corner, put them in on an angle, and then like so. At the bottom first, you get an even amount overhanging at the top, and then a couple of 8x3 screws, screw up through the gable, that's the covering block. This is the completed job, fully assembled. We've just screwed on a strip above the door just to help keep the weather off. You can see. This particular job has got gutters fitted, which we attach the bracket onto this 4x2 timber here, which we fix first. That's screwed onto the walls where the joists come through, and the brackets spaced around 800mm apart. Joining bracket on the guttering there, and we also put a 4x2 timber just in from the side for the downpipe to come. Here's the end connector, and we just have to follow that on a little bit here to cover the end of the roof. And then we just have a shoe on the bottom, a couple of brackets holding the downpipe in position. That's the finished job. This is a building we've just completed. It's a 20x10 workshop assembled in Aldershot. I'll just show you around the building briefly. It's got 38 kg heavy duty cap sheet roof felt. We have small windows for added security. This customer opted to have us attach the guttering just to keep the weather off the sides of the building a bit. I'll just take you around the back. Just go around the building, taking a look around. So we have a double door on this workshop to let wide things in, wheelbarrows, etc. Let's go and take a look inside. We have vapor membrane and ply on the walls. Ply gives it a nice finish inside your building, adds a little bit more insulation, and it just makes the walls more rigid. We have our strong trusses in the roof. It's going to take a lot of weight. Nice T&G boarded roof, so you've got that strand board look inside of your roof that you get with most buildings. As I said, this is a workshop, so we've got a wooden floor inside. We've just temporarily covered this one because the garden was quite muddy, so just keep the footprints off. Customer intends having electrics in this building. It should be going on later on today, once we leave. So we have the double doors which bolt. The first door, slave door, bolts top and bottom inside, so that's nice and secure. And the other door, chute bolts across on the outside. That's the final job.